Hi guys, we just got this JJRC military truck, and this is the box it came in, and it's got a 6-volt kind of a hump battery, so it fits under the hood. Comes with a screwdriver, USB charger, and a nice little manual, parts list, and stuff like that. And there's a comparison in size. It's smaller than the Fei FY004. And there's a lot of good and a lot of bad on this JJRC, which I knew before I bought it because I watched some videos on it. But in my opinion, if you want something that's really nice, ready to go, get this Fei full proportional steering, fully proportional speed, and it doesn't really need any upgrades. Now, the reason I bought this JJRC is because of the looks. I like the vintage looks. The hood opens, nice for the battery. The doors open and close. The tailgate up and down. And it's just got cool vintage, like World War II looks. They even sell this cab separately for like $7. Some of the guys on the Facebook groups are making street rods out of it and stuff. So I knew that it has lots of little downfalls. The remote is a nice size, but it does not have variable speed. It's got this little switch for 2-speed, and you can hear a little tiny difference. We'll do that later between slow and slower, but there's not, really at all variable speed. And the steering is really noisy. You hear that motor in there. It's very noisy. And it's underpowered. It's only got a 130 motor. So that would be, this is a 130. Here's a 180 that probably it should have came with, being 6-wheel drive, but you can easily buy that WPL motor, and you can see it's longer. Other options are Tamiya. They make those mini 4-wheel drive racers. Well, it's a 130 size motor, lots of RPMs, 50,000 RPMs on this thing, a lot of power. This is also a Tamiya motor, Hyper Dash. This one's Plasma Dash. And if you have one of those little pinion pullers to pull the gear off of like the factory motor and then push it onto one of these motors, then you can do a motor change like that, no problem. And the other thing, in a couple of my other ones, here's a JJRC. It's 7.4 volts for a boat I have, and it's the same connector. So we'll try this later, putting this in there. It really helped a couple of my other vehicles that came with 6-volt batteries to jump to the 7.4. It gives it a lot more speed, a lot more power, so we'll try that. I know in the WPLs, the ready-to-run ones on the Facebook groups, the guy says don't put in a 7.4. They either don't turn on, or if they do turn on, they burn up the little board inside. If you get the upgraded like V3 system from WPL with the winch control and all that on there, those can take a bigger battery. But this is just a ready to run one, and the guys are saying it will burn it up on a 7.4. So I'm not even going to try it on that. But yeah, we'll put a battery in this JJRC and fire it up and show you what we have. Okay, we're back. The 6-volt battery's in. We're going to do the upside down test because I don't have enough hands. But listen to the steering. That's annoying. Now the WPL, this is just ready to run. So it's similar. It's not proportional steering, but it's quiet. I'm holding it. Now hold it. It doesn't do the buzzing. This one, when I hold it, so it's like the old WPLs. The old WPLs were loud like that too, but this one is a little bit improved because it's quiet. Now we'll do the non-proportional speed. Here we go, and then I'll press this little button. There, a little higher. Now let off. Okay, just a tiny change in sound. They say it's a shift button at 2-speed, but it doesn't do too much. Now, the WPL ready to run does have proportional speed, so I can go slow. And keep going a little more. Wide open, even reverse. And go slow. So what I'm thinking of doing, I'm going to upgrade this WPL a lot. I'm putting a bigger motor in it. I'm going to put bigger tires and everything on it. And I have a Fly Sky transmitter, and I also have a couple Dumbo RCs. So I'll put a receiver in there. I'll put a real speed control in there. But I'll have the leftover little tiny board and the leftover steering and this transmitter. So I think I will put that in the JJRC. So I will at least have variable speed. That's the main thing. And then I'll have quieter steering. And basically, before you steer, just slow down a little bit and steer, and it doesn't look so bad. When you're going wide open and you got the all or nothing steering, it's all over the road. So that's what I think I'll do. It's got nice LEDs on it and stuff. And here's one more option. This is a WPL kit. So it came with the 180 motor, soft tires, and a real steering servo. And what I had was this PX Toys Speed Pioneer, all worn out. The motor burnt up finally at the end, melted the body. I trimmed the body. The tires are bald. The differentials were skipping, and the motor's burnt up. So to fix all that, the boys always played with it, and to fix all that would be a lot of money. So the servo still worked, a 5-wire servo, so I put that in the WPL, and it's all-in-one ESC receiver in the WPL, hooked it up to the 180 motor, and then I just used this transmitter. It's a super nice transmitter. It's got dual rates on your throttle and on your steering, and it's got steering servo reverse and everything, and it's got, you know, your steering trim on there, and it's so nice. So just the two little units, the all-in-one and the servo, and now this one's all nice and proportional. So for you guys that are in the hobby and you have some tired out RC stuff, you can always do that. Just put it in, you know, one of these, and then you upgrade it real easily. So, but for today, next up, we'll go outside, we'll run it on the 6-volt battery, and then we'll try that 7.4, and we'll just show you what it's like. It's not, you know, a powerhouse right now, but like I said, I bought it for the cool details, and I didn't have this color in my military trucks. This is a little bit more on the yellow side. I got kind of a tan Fayette, and then I have that 6x6 Army green. So I just wanted to add this one to my collection, and looking for an easy way to upgrade it, and I think the WPL electronics will be the way to go for me. But then, like I said, I can't run that 7.4 because it'll probably burn up the board, but at least it'll be quiet steering, won't give me a headache, and it will have variable speed. So maybe you guys can subscribe and put a like on this video if you liked it, if it helped you out with some ideas. And I've got more projects to do later, so keep an eye out for how the JJRC ends up later on. Thank you. Okay, we'll start out with just the stock 6-volt battery, so that's all in there. And then one thing that helps a lot, the leaf springs, if you back out the screw one turn with a screwdriver, it gives it a lot more flex, because otherwise the screws are so tight it's pushing on the leaf spring and it doesn't have much give. So how I do it, I take the screw all the way out, put a little dab of school glue on the screw, like a white Elmer's glue, go all the way back in with it, and then turn it one turn out. And the school glue will just kind of keep you from losing your screws, but it won't be too you know, tight where you can't change the leaf springs or axles later on. But that really helps these out with the leaf spring suspension. I've done that on my other ones, and it lets it float over the bumps a whole lot better. So here we go. We'll see how this thing does. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of power compared to the Fayette. It gets stuck pretty easy, runs out of power. Also, the open differentials, they're not locked, so it can spin real easy. So if you're gonna do more off-roading or crawling, you'll need more power and you'll need to lock the diffs. That's a fully charged battery, so it really doesn't have a whole lot of power. We'll go up the hill there a little bit. Really runs out of power. So this thing, at least you can get it out of the box and you can check it out right away and you can run it, but I would recommend doing upgrades. For kids, I guess it's okay, or maybe on blacktop road or in a parking lot it's okay, but here we're going up a hill and it really struggles even to do that. Okay, next up, I'll put in the 7.4 battery, see if that helps us out. Okay, here's the 7.4 volt from the JJRC boat, so we'll see if it goes in gravel a little better. It's all the way floored, it just doesn't, the little 130 motor just doesn't have a whole lot of power. Tries to spin. It's gonna need lots of upgrades. Okay, there we go. It's good on blacktop with the bigger battery. Now it scoots. Okay, I think what it's going to be good for is basically on the road, king of the road, and you can haul stuff with it. Always strap down your helicopter. But that's where the proportional throttle would be nice. Here it just, you know, it's one or nothing. Okay, it's better to slow down and turn, otherwise we'd lose our load. And here we go. Oh, now we get a ticket for unsecured load. Okay, now I'll press that speed button while I drive, see if it does anything. I don't think it'll do much. I pressed it, not much. Okay, try it again. Pressed it, slowed down a little bit. So a little tiny difference, I could hear it slow down a little bit, but that's about it. They should have did a 2-speed on the trigger at least, and then have a bigger difference, I think, in the speeds.